Just giving y'all a little update. We're just going to tap in. More people are being arrested on the UCLA campus. Check it out.
Breaking news at UCLA. Protesters appear to have taken over part of a parking structure and a building.
KCAL News reporter Tina Patel is live inside the parking structure right now. And Tina, we see officers are taking some of them into custody. It sounds very noisy, too.
Yeah, well, it's echoey in a parking garage. There are some people here trying to get more information. Right now, UCLA police are not saying exactly why they have detained people. We are on the third floor of parking lot 2 here on the UCLA campus. There are a number of people that we can see are being searched, have been zip tied, some of them sitting down.
Shout out to Jeff Yu and Slant Sells Cars. I'm definitely going to be reading those super chats shortly. Let me tell y'all, man, you look at some of these people, they are not students. A lot of these people are not students. A lot of these people are paid to be there, to come in and disrupt what you guys have going on, and then to distract you guys from things that's really meaningful inside of society. They're taking over parking structures. They have no value to add. For some reason, these people don't have, none of these people have regular jobs. Have y'all noticed that? None of these people have regular jobs. They all are just grifting and showing up somewhere, and they not add no value into society. They're not paying no taxes. They always got on baggy jeans, masks, and then bonnets or do-rags. And they over here causing a disruption. And it just so happened to be during the time that an election year is coming in. So just remember, when you're looking at these videos, look for the context clues in the videos and not just the videos themselves, not just what the headline says.
Down on the ground. Now, we don't know exactly who this is, if these are students, if these are protesters. There are a few people that are wearing green hats that are legal observers. We've seen them throughout the week as they had the pro-Palestinian encampment here, kind of just watching, helping, offering legal advice. A few of them are also on the ground, zip-tied, being detained. Now, the sheriff's department is here. We were just talking to one of them as they were putting some crime scene kind of creating a perimeter around here. They said they were just brought in as backup, so they don't know exactly what this operation is, why it is unfolding here, and why certain people are being detained. But from what we can see, it looks like about 30 people. Right now, it does not look like they are resisting. But again, we don't know exactly what they were doing in this parking structure, why the university police came here and started detaining them. But right now, they've got this part of the parking structure blocked off while they continue to detain people. We're going to try to get some more information. We're hearing some reports on social media that people were told they were violating curfew. But when I talked to UCLA Media Relations Department, they said there was no curfew on campus, so they don't believe it could be a curfew issue. But again, they did not know exactly what was unfolding. So we're going to try to get some more answers. But right now, I want to send it over to Mark Liu, because Mark, there are also some other developments on campus that you're keeping an eye on.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Tina. That parking structure that you are in, where those protesters are being taken into custody, is not the only location where protesters are interfering with campus operations. I want to take you out to some video from SkyCal from just a short time ago. There is also a group of about 50 to 60 protesters inside of a building called Moore Hall. Now, it's right there on the right side of your screen. You can see UCLA PD on the ground. This video was just from about 15 to 20 minutes ago. About an hour ago at 6 this morning, there was faculty that were at Moore Hall that said that they started seeing people inside of the hall before it was open. About 30, then 45, then 60 students inside of the hall. UCPD responded and said all of them looked like protesters of some kind that were running around that hall now there that is just south of where that encampment was. You can see SkyCal zooming in. That's where that encampment was last week. Now, UCLA PD has called for help from the sheriffs. They are responding, and they have surrounded Moore Hall, and they are taking those protesters one by one into custody. They have closed all of the doors to make sure that no one else can get inside during this process.
Good for them. Good for the police officers. Good for the university starting to get some control. I told y'all in the very beginning, you got to stamp this out. You got to get it in its infancy before it starts to grow, because everybody is Me Too. Meaning, when I say Me Too, that means that a lot of people always try to jump on the bandwagon and try to join when it becomes a popular thing to do, and they don't even think for themselves. So that's what's going on over on UCLA campus. I know that Columbia is starting to cancel a lot of the graduation ceremonies, and so that's really tripped out, because some of the very people that graduated from high school during COVID in 2020 are now experiencing the cancellation of their graduation, all because other people think that their ability to protest is more important than your graduation ceremony, even though you paid your money and you worked your ass off in order to be able to graduate. Anyways, in addition to that, a beauty supply owner where 3 girls assault the beauty supply owner and allegedly take the stuff that they want. Check it out.
The owner of a local beauty supply store left battered and bruised after he was attacked by 3 teenage girls.
All of this was caught on camera. Fox 5's Shamari Stone is in Silver Spring tonight with the story.
Right now I'm inside City Place Mall, and we're actually bringing you closer to where this all happened. This is Beauty Pro. It's a popular beauty supply store where people like to come in here and buy items such as weaves. You can see this long one right here.
Am I the only person that think that this dude is being petty? Hold on, wait a minute, bro. They supposed to be doing a news story on how teens coming in and robbing and beating up the beauty supply owner store. And this dude is saying, oh man, look at this. This is a popular store where everybody comes in and get their weaves and they butterfly eyelashes. Come on, man. They being so petty, bro.
Hairstyling gel. And an item that people are stealing, he says, wigs. Well, you come right over here. He says that these 3 teenage suspects walked right in, and he says that they were determined to fight with him. They walked right behind this counter, the one I'm standing out right now, and he says they just started beating him repeatedly, and he was trying to defend himself. You look right over here. This is the camera that captured them on video. Take a look at this surveillance video from the store on Sunday, March 3rd. The 3 suspects walk in and start punching James Wong. He appears to defend himself, and they continue to beat him repeatedly in his head. He says,
that girl's throwing hands like a man. Y'all sure that ain't a man? Hold on, let me back up for a minute.
He appears to defend him
like white girls too.
Himself, and they continue to beat him repeatedly in his head. He says he had several bruises and he was hurting. After the suspects beat him up, police say they then walked out of the store with bags.
They walked in, started throwing hands, and then started taking the stuff that they wanted.
Stolen items. He says the same suspect stole from him just 2 days before the attack that was captured on surveillance video. You're now going to hear from James Wong.
I'm still scared. And I feel like a still trauma. The people comes, youngster comes, 3, 4 people come at all together. I'm still feel uncomfortable dealing with the people. Since COVID-19 pandemic, young people kind of behaviors become more wild.
I'm just glad.
That's crazy. So now we got young girls walking up in beauty stores and throwing hands on the beauty supply owners, and they not having no mercy. Had your weaves and your wigs. Last but not least, thought I'd throw a little bit of controversy in there based off of some of the stuff that y'all sent me. An Amazon delivery driver wind up killing a carjacker. Check it out.
Breaking news. Corey in Franklin tried to carjack an Amazon driver, and the Amazon driver shot him. They shot at the Amazon driver is what I'm getting, and the Amazon driver shot back.
The stunning police radio calls and a neighborhood in shock. From what police know so far, an Amazon driver carjacked at gunpoint in broad daylight. Detectives say that delivery driver opened fire, the suspect killed. Good evening, I'm Caitlin McCarthy. A 19 News crew on the scene just minutes after it all went down. Michelle Nix live now in Cleveland's Ohio City neighborhood. Michelle, you talked to neighbors. What else have you learned on scene?
Well, good evening, Caitlin. As you said, we are here in Ohio City on West 48th and Franklin, where, as you can see behind me, there is a very active crime scene by Cleveland police. This is a homicide investigation. We are not going to show it to you, but there is a body on the ground still at this point, and the person is covered in a white sheet. It all centers around this Amazon Flex vehicle that is behind me that is crashed. What police have confirmed is that an Amazon driver was working in the area at the time. An armed carjacker approached him, got behind the wheel of the vehicle, and crashed the vehicle. During the altercation, we're being told the Amazon driver allegedly shot and killed that armed suspect. Now, at this point, no one is in custody, but neighbors here are just shocked.
Sort of surprised in the broad daylight, but there was a shooting here last year, same time of year in the summer, like 1 block away.
Okay.
So, like I said, it is surprising because of the time of day and the victim, doesn't appear to be involved in the drugs at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why it's surprising.
Now, I just talked to a young mother who said she was coming down the street with her young son. They were headed to a party. She heard some popping noises that she thought were gunshots, but then she thought, well, maybe they're fireworks. But then she looked down West 48th and saw the crashed Amazon vehicle coming this way and flip over. She said she's just stunned that this could happen right here.
Let me say this really quickly, and then we're going to go ahead and get into the show. When they say the victim, I'm assuming that they mean the Amazon flex worker whose car was taken and that he unfortunately had to discharge his firearm. And thank God that he was strapped out here in these streets. Thank God he was strapped. Look, I'm not letting it go. We got a whole story that we're about to get into right after this on Quick Hits. I ain't even going to talk about it yet, but listen, at some point, because everybody keeps telling me about, oh no, the most vulnerable among us are usually the ones that suffer the most when it comes to the crimes being perpetuated against them. Now, what the family is going to say is, oh my God, he was a good person. It's not worth his life. It's just a vehicle. You should have gave up the vehicle and the Amazon Flex packages and all of this stuff in order to be able to let him get away because he was going to turn his life around. He just hit a rough patch. He was only carjacking you in the daytime, and it's not his fault. It's society's fault. It's the white man's fault. It's the system's fault. It's inflation's fault. It's Trump's fault. It's Biden's fault. It's women's fault. It's men's fault. Yo, it don't matter. You can walk into a beauty salon and be able to punch on people that owns the salon and then take what you want out of it. And then if you decide to defend yourself as a result of it, it's not their fault that you're taking their life. We need to make sure that we do this investigation as a homicide, not self-defense. At some point, the most vulnerable among us, we have to protect them. If our legislators are legislating laws that basically prevent the worst from among us getting out and perpetuating the crimes against you, you have a right to defend yourself. So I'm going to just say this. Congratulations. Play stupid games. You win stupid prizes. You put a pistol in somebody's face. They might defend themselves and take you out. Thank God that the flex driver, I think we need to start a GoFundMe for the flex driver. I think we need to start a GoFundMe for the flex driver. T-Man Slice says the gun was only a 22. That's all you need. It worked. That's all you need. You don't need all of that extra, all of that stuff. Yes, man, listen. I believe in the right to be able to defend yourself. 100%. So let me get a round of applause for the flex driver. Yeah, that's where I stand.